Hi, seen. So this video before as a viewer, if you are directly watching this video, it is suggested that you go through all the videos which are there in the playlist. So one by one, then there are interlinkages. We will be referring to what we had said earlier. So these are all small videos, 20 minutes, 25 minutes about basics of interest rates, monetary policy. So after all of that, we are today on a topic of yield curves. So let us try to see how we can do economic forecasting using yield curves. And to know this, we first must understand what is an yield curve. So an yield curve is known as a term structure of interest rates. And when we say term structure of interest rates, it's a graph where on the x-axis you have got time. So here we have got 0.5 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years and 20 years. So on the x-axis we have got the time, which is the independent variable. And on the y-axis we have got yields. So 0%, 2%, 4, 6, 8, 10% and so on. Up to 12% we have got in the chart. So how do we read this? Let us look at one by one. Let us first look at this yellow line. Now in one of our previous sessions, we had used the word that the yield curve is flat. So this is what we will say when the yield curve, when do we say when the yield curve is flat? Because now this is when the government of India, we have seen that the government of India borrows and it borrows heavily. It's a big player in the debt market. We have spoken about that in the earlier sessions, videos. So when the government of India is borrowing, then whoever is investing in that paper, he will expect some interest. Now the government of India, when it borrows, it just doesn't borrow for maybe 6 months or 8 months or 1 year. There are short-term papers known as treasury bills, which are of less than 1 year tenor. These are known as money market instruments. And the government borrows up to as much as 30 years also. So the government borrowing, the government paper, the loan which the government takes, known as the GSEC, government security, can be for as low as 14 days, that's the treasury bill, or can be as long as 30 years, that's the dated securities. Now when the government, so when you as an investor, when you are giving money to the government, then the interest which you expect from the government will be equal, or will be the yield which the government will be have to bear. So that is the interest cost of the government. So if we look at this yellow line, what it says is, and this was in June 2008. So what this says is, if you as an investor were to invest for a half year paper, 0.5, were to invest for a half year paper, then you were comfortable with the yield of 8%. So which means that you, the borrower, sorry, you, the lender or the investor, and government, the issuer or the borrower, both of them are comfortable at 8%. So you are ready to invest your money at 8%. Government is ready to borrow from you at 8%, because when the buyer and the seller, or the issuer and the investor, both of them have to agree on a price or a yield, otherwise it won't happen. So this, how do we read this is, for half a year if we were to invest in 2008 June, then you were ready for 8% annual yield. This is not for half year, this is all expressed in annual. This is 0.5 years, so this is 8% annual. It doesn't translate into 16% annual. No, it's not like that. So 0.5 is 8%. Now if you were to invest for 5-year paper in the same June 2008, then you were ready for 8%. You were happy with 8%. The government was also ready to borrow at 8%. And so on and so forth. So for 20 years, if you wanted to invest in June 2008 in government security, GSEC paper, for a period of 20 years, then you were happy with a rate of slightly higher than 8%. So let's say 8.1, 8.2, whatever that would have been. Broadly speaking, for 0.5 years also it is 8%, and for 20 years also it is 8%, or a few percentage points here and there. So when you have such an interest rate scenario, then this is known as a flat yield curve, which incidentally we are having today also in early 2017. Let us quickly see this, because this is the latest part. So if you go to investing.com and there if you search for India 10-year GSEC, now what is happening is it is saying that the 10-year GSEC yield is currently at 6.85%. Now 10-year GSEC yield at 6.85%, if we have to see here on this chart, so 10-year will be this and 6.85, so this is 6%. So 10-year GSEC yield will be 6.85, so this point will be somewhere over here. Let us put this Acrobat mark over here. So this is the 6.85 broadly for the today for 10-year paper. Now here we'll also quickly go to RBI website and we'll see something interesting. So you go to Reserve Bank of India. Now why this is important? Because these interest rates are going to affect equities of companies also. So if we go to Reserve Bank of India website, and there are, so now if we see on the left hand side, you have got some policy rates or reserve ratios. So if you see the policy repo rate, it is at 6.25%. So if we were to again, and repo rate is extremely short term. So if this was your 6%, let's say this was your 10-year paper was at 6.5%, and your extremely short term rate is also 6.25%. So pay attention to this figure. Repo rate is 6.25% and your 10-year GSEC rate is 6.85%. So that means whether you lend for extremely short term or whether you lend for 10-year period, you are going to get the same return. And therefore, when the yields are like this, then it is known as a flat yield curve. So whether it is for a short term period or whether it is for a long term period, if you see market trends on RBI website, you will see that the call rates are 4.75 to 6.25. Now call rates are interbank short term rates, again close to 6%. So 6.25 is where short term rates are. Repo rate we again saw 6.25. If you go 91-day treasury bill, so 91 days, let's say 3 months, again close to 6.2 flat. 182 days, 6 months, again 6.2 flat. 364-day treasury bill, that means 1 year, again 6.3, so that means flat. You go to 7.72 GSEC 2025. Now this is a GSEC stands for government security. 2025 is it is maturing in 2025. We are right now in 2017. So another 8 years from now, it is at 7.1. So 10 years late, so 6.5 today and 10 years later 7.7. So it's almost flat. So this yield curve which is getting formed is similar to the yellow one, but this is forming at this level because this yellow yield curve is at a 8% level. This yield curve, today's yield curve, flat yield curve is at this 6% level. So just imagine that this yellow line has come down like this as of today if we were to consider. So this is known as a flat yield curve. What this means, we will come to that in a bit. Now this blue line, dark blue line, this is known as a normal yield curve. And when we say normal, because that is how it should be, when you invest for a short term period, you get 4.5%. So this is 4 and this is 6. So this would be roughly 4.5 or 5-ish%. So for 0.5 years, if you are investing in government paper, you get close to 5%. And 20 years, if you invest in government paper, you get close to 8%, 7.5, 8%. So when you have this kind of a yield curve, it's a normal yield curve. There's a difference between the interest rates. So for 20 years, you are getting, let's say 8%. And for half a year, you are getting, let's say 5%. So there's a 3% difference between the short term and the long term paper. And this is how it should be. Because in case of a flat yield curve, if here also you are getting same interest rate, here also you are getting same interest rate, why will you lock your money for 10 years, 20 years? But here, there is an incentive for you to lock your money for 20 years because the interest rates are higher. So therefore, this is known as a normal yield curve. Another sort of variant of this is this light blue line, which is even better because the short term rate is at 4% and the long term rate is above 8%, let's say close to 9%. So there's a huge difference between this. So short term you get 4%, long term you get 9%. So this is known as a steep yield curve. So this is blue, dark blue is normal, light blue is steep, yellow is flat, and the pink line, if we see, this part, if you see very clearly, this is an inverted yield curve. It's inverted over here. Why inverted? Because the short term rates are higher than the long term rates. So 5-year paper is at, let's say, 9%, and 0.5 years is, let's say, 10%. So this is slope is inverted. So therefore these are the 4 types of yield curves. First of all, we must understand that what an yield curve is. Whenever somebody says the term as a yield curve, what it means. So quickly let us go through it. Yield curve is term structure of interest rates. These are used, these are economic indicators, because it's all about interest rates. Normally we would always expect that an yield curve should be like this light blue line, or maybe like this dark blue line or the light blue line. But in our own Indian markets, we have seen in June 2008 it was flat. In July 2008, in a period of 1 month from 5th June to 17th July, it had sort of become inverted. So yield curve keep moving along. We have said in the early bond mathematics part that yields keep moving. So this is that part, and this affects the bond markets as well as the equity markets. So how yield curves affect us is what we will see in the next video. So for the moment, this is what we must understand, that this is the yield curve. And so before, as we go into next topics, the relations of the previous topics would be used more. So therefore please watch the earlier videos and come in a step-by-step manner, otherwise it will become confusing. So thank you for watching this video. Very soon we will be posting the next video on the impact of yield curves and how to analyze them. Thank you very much.